CKJ Crypto News. Okay guys, I'm here to pretty much tell you I reviewed the Donald Trump Executive Order 13772 once again, and I basically had a second look at it because Cory Johnson has actually been really bullish on making statements that he's been in talks with the White House. Actually, this is the second time I did the video. The last one was a half hour. I'm going to try to see if I can make this one 10 minutes. So we're going to squeeze a half hour worth of information into 10 minutes here. So pretty much, guys, Cory Johnson has pretty much been really, making statements that they're in talk with the Trump administration. So that had me go back and take a second look at the executive order from Donald Trump. And I pretty much tied a whole lot more entities in that executive order to Ripple, upwards of 30. So we're going to try to make this video really quick. Ripple has a ton of doubters. This is doubters. This exec is trying to change their minds. So then you go down here, is basically speaking at the White House. Do you have a sense of what Trump administration thinks about the product like Ripple? When I started to meet people in the government, the White House particularly seems to be thinking of what it means to have 80% of Bitcoin mining taking place in China and the majority of Ether mining taking place in China. When you look at XRP, there is no mining. So from foreign control aspect or from the environmental aspect, XRP is a very different beast. And in conversation we had with the administration, they seem to get that and think that this might matter. So basically, but here we're in regular talks throughout Washington, and we met with regulators as well as politicians. So that's Cory Johnson pretty much being like, hey, we are in talks with the Trump administration. So that kind of pretty much, Cory Johnson has been retweeting Bitcoin trading uses more power. Then he shared this right here. XRP consumes less energy than ETH and BTC, and he pretty much spoke about it in Unbound in Miami also. So he's pretty much been saying, hey, we are in talks with the White House. So that pretty much made me take a second look at the executive order again. And here it is right here, a financial system that creates economic opportunities for non-bank financial systems. Now basically, guys, now Stephen Munich, who's also in here, introduction. President Donald J. Trump established the policy of his administration to regulate the U.S. financial system in a manner that consists with a set of core principles. These principles were set forth in Executive Order 13772 on February 3rd. The U.S. Department of Treasury, under the direction of Stephen Munich. So, okay, I said under the direction of Stephen Munich. Now, I actually tie Stephen Munich down to saying basically the Trump administration, the White House administration, has actually created a working group that's taking a serious look at digital currencies. And in that working group, I'll also tie, maybe one or two members in that working group to Ripple also. So this is interesting. In this executive order right here, I can tie up towards of 30 entities to Ripple. And also under the Stephen Munich separate working group, I can tie some of them members to Ripple also. So let's get this started. And like I said, guys, Ripple is listed on page 192 and 195. I'll link this executive order in the description so you can check it out yourself. It's really interesting here. Let me see. So participants in executive order engagement process. So this is the participants part. So we'll start right here. Board of Governors, Federal Reserve. So we'll start right there. Here's the governor. Here's the Federal Reserve Faster Payments Task Force Steering Committee. So it's the Federal Reserve. Here's Ripple. Here's Ryan Zagone. So that's the first tie-in right there. Got the Federal Reserve. Conference of State Bank Supervisors. So basically, Ryan Zagone is honorably selected to the U.S. State Regulators' new advisory board, the CSBC, announces FinTech Advisory Panel in the Vision 2020 initiative. PayPal, Amazon, Facebook. We did a video on this one. It's actually, I think, one video back. You can check that video out. We'll go back to this. And the next one's going to be Ripple's, okay, FinCEN one. FinCEN Financial Crimes right here. We'll tie that. Ripple's XRP excluded from being a security by FinCEN. Information has recently emerged that suggests that Ripple XRP token is not a security. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network signed an agreement with Ripple Inc. that allowed them to continue the sale of XRP in 2015. According to an agreement signed between FinCEN and the Securities and Exchange Commission in 2006. I'm going to have to find that one. So like I said, guys, there's Financial Crimes, FinCEN right there, who's tied to Ripple and basically says that, they can do business. Office of Controller Currency. So pretty much Ryan Zagoon has read them. Conclusion, the OCC, Officer of Controller Currency. Ryan Zagoon right here. We urge the OCC and other regulatory bodies of the United States to work collectively to build a regulatory regime that drives innovation and competition. So that's huge. Ryan Zagoon is just everywhere. Good lordy. The U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So they're kind of bullish on. I guess I'll pull that clip up soon. Let's just go down here. So anyway, here's non-United States times to Ripple. Now we got the Bank of Canada right here. The Royal Bank of Canada says Ripple can save financial institutions 46%. Dutch National Bank right here. Here goes Dutch Bank ING to implement Ripple crypto for international payments. Dutch, European Commission. Virtual currencies are a contemporary form of private money that, thanks to their technical properties, their global transaction networks are relatively safe, transparent, and fast. And that right there is the European Parliament. And also Ripple XRP just went live in Europe. So Santana releases OnePay FX. So there's Europe right there. Monetary Authority of Singapore. Cryptocurrency player Ripple keen to set off blockchain waves in Singapore. And we know Singapore actually spoke at Swell also. Then we got the UK Financial Conduct Authority. Basically right here, Ripple Executive Marcus Treacher appointed to Chaps. Chaps is Ripple to honor to have Marcus Treacher, the Global Head of Strategic Accounts. And he says, I'm honored to join Chaps board directly with its members to promote innovation in financial technology, said Treacher. Chaps is integral to the UK's banking system. I'm looking forward to playing a part in its continued success and evolution. So then you go back to right here. Now we got expertise and advocates. We'll go down to right here, trades and associates. Now we got participants in executive order. So as we go down here, we're actually going to go right here. Now here's where we found a lot of tie-ins right here, guys. There's a lot of tie-ins right here. So basically we got Amazon right here. Amazon's working on a payments initiative with WC3, Worldwide Consortium. We got American Express right here, who's basically partnered with Ripple and is also in the faster payments task force. We got American Honda Finance Corporation is also in the faster payments task force. Anderson Horowitz, who invested in Ripple Labs. Apple Pay is a partner of Ripple. Bank of America is also working with Ripple. Ripple has now 120 customers, including Bank of America. BlackRock is tied to Ripple through PNC. PNC basically just partnered with Ripple, and PNC owns 20% of BlackRock. Capital One is on the faster payments task force. We got Coinbase on here. Coinbase is on the I'd like to say faster payments task force, but I'm not certain about that one. We got Credit Suisse, who's a partner of Ripple. We got Facebook, who's also works on payments with Ripple through the WC3 initiative. We got Fidelity Investments on here, but they're not tied to Ripple. I'm just saying it's a, they're on here. Google, who's also a partner in Ripple, or no, who is invested in Ripple. Google is invested in Ripple. JP Morgan is on the faster payments task force. Lending Club, our Lending Club right here is tied to Chris Larson. MasterCard tied to Ripple through the Faster Payments Task Force. MoneyGram is also a partner with Ripple. NASDAQ's on here. That's kind of interesting. PayPal works with Ripple on the payments initiative through WC3. PNC Financial is a partner of Ripple. Prosper is Chris Larson. R3 works with Ripple. Ripple works with Ripple. We got Visa is on the Faster Payments Task Force. They're working with Ripple through that. And Toyota Financial Services on the Faster Payments Task Force. Visa, like I said. Western Union is a partner with Ripple. So we got quite a few partners there, guys. I mean, look how many entities are just tied to Ripple right there. So Ripple was pretty much just blanketing the world with this technology. That's for sure. It cannot be denied at all. That's amazing. Now, I believe now it's going to take us back to, I forgot to show you this, guys. Ryan is BAF. BAF is on there too. Well, I skipped over that one, but he's on there. Hold on. Maybe I can find it right here. No, I guess we're going to skip that one. But anyway, so then it sent me down the rabbit hole of Stephen Munich right here. Now, the Treasury Secretary Munich explains why he's really looking closely at Bitcoin. Now, like I said, guys, this whole report was prepared by Stephen Munich, and I read that in the beginning. Right here, executive summary. Department of Treasury under the direction of Stephen T. Munich, and that brought me to right here, Munich. Now, if I go down here, guys, basically, joining Munich on the CNBC panel was Lagarde, UK Finance Prime Minister, and BlackRock CEO Larry Flint, and Dutch Bank Chairman. So we already got Christine Lagarde, who pretty much rides and goes on a high-level advisory board, and we got Larry Flint, BlackRock of CEO. Like I said, PNC has a partnership with Ripple, and PNC owns 20% of BlackRock. Lagarde told the audience that the IMF has already started monitoring and surveillance and analyzing the risks associated with the development of cryptocurrencies and the potential benefits of it. So we got that right there. But if we go to right here, now this is Munich. Munich says financial regulators will probe impact of cryptocurrencies. Treasury Stephen Munich said Friday that the Intercy Group on regulators reviewing the impact of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin on the United States financial system. Munich, during an interview with the Economic Club of Washington, said the Financial Stability Oversight Council, the FSOC, created a working group to examine digital currencies like Bitcoin. Now I said, whoa, hold on, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, FSOC, created a working group. So I was like, who is this working group? So then I looked up the working group right here, Financial Stability Oversight Council. Now basically the voting members right here are Secretary of Treasury, which is Stephen Munich, Chairman of the Federal Reserve, which is Jay Powell. Jay Powell's right here. Jay Powell, Federal Reserve Board of Governor Jay Powell, who co-chairs the initiative oversight, and this is the Federal Reserve highlights progress and reports to improve U.S. payment system. And that brings us to right here, Ripple Insights. Fed releases faster payments progress report. Federal Reserve Board Governor Jay Powell, who co-chairs the Initiative Oversight Committee, echoed Ryan Zagoon's sentiments in the Fed's announcement. Our progress in this past year has been amazing. Of course it is. And like I said, guys, we're pretty much going to be, this is the second half where we're tying some of these members. Now we got Jay Powell right here, who's overseeing this initiative and closely working with Ryan Zagoon. So I think personally I found a tie-in. Cory Johnson said that they're in talks with the Trump administration. Now Jay Powell is on this Trump administration group through this White House group, Financial Stability Oversight Council, and he's working with Ryan Zagoon. And Steve Munich is also in this group, so there goes the connection right there, maybe to the White House that they were speaking of, where Cory Johnson is speaking of. Now we also got Jay Clayton on here, who Jay Clayton is the SEC chairman. Jay Clayton, and he basically came out and said Bitcoin is not a security, Ethereum is not a security, but he also said that they're taking a serious look at cryptocurrencies also too. And like I said, I've done videos where I've taught Jay Clayton to representing quite a few of the banks that are partnered with Ripple. Before Jay Clayton was the SEC chairman, Jay Clayton was the Goldman Sachs banker who's represented a lot of banks and also helped Alibaba raise big money through IPO. So that's why I said he will be all about ICOs. So that's pretty much Steve Munich right there, who prepared the order. Jay Clayton, who's on the SEC, and like I said, Jerome Powell right there, who basically is on the Faster Payments Task Force overseeing the initiative. And like I said, he's working with Ryan Zagone through that initiative. And here's right here. Here's the one that said digital currencies are a commodity, or Bitcoin is a commodity right there. So guys, we got a lot of times that pretty much all go back to Ripple. So I'm kind of really excited about that. Cryptocurrency is here to stay, says the chairman right there, and there's the chairman right here also, Christopher Giancarlo. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. So come on, guys, this is going to be massive. This is massive, guys. So pat yourself on the back for getting in this movement this early. Feds released faster payments progress report on Ripple Insights, and guess what? The governor, Jerome Powell, echoes Ryan's sentiments. Of course he does. So this is massive, guys. There's huge times that lead back to this executive order, this overhaul of the financial system. Pretty much most of the entities in there all tied to Ripples. That's amazing, guys. So I think it's pretty clear to see what direction we're going to go. And also now I think that's why we're starting to hear this little bit of stuff about Bitcoin being controlled by China, because that is a big concern with the White House, especially when their baby Ripple is their top pick of the solution that's going to revamp the financial system that you clearly can see. And also, out of all the proposals that were introduced to the Fed, we already know, I did a video on this, that the Federal Reserve, or Ripple, is the only one with blockchain solution. And like Chris Larson says, it's the only enterprise-ready solution. So guys, what do you think about this video, guys, and all the times? The CKJ coin will pop up right now. Please smash that coin. Thank you big time for subscribing. Actually, I forgot to show this one clip right here. Here's the IMF High Level Advisory Board, the International Monetary Fund, like Christine. Here's Christine Lagarde right here, and here's Ryan Zagone right here. I think I forgot to show that. But okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your time today. Have a good day.